think I echo your fear here. It does not feel like a map where NIP can really start to build themselves. They picked Overpass, they got trounced. 16-5, it was a demolition. There's not too much else you can say about it. From there, they come into a map that VP are incredibly strong on. It's going to take such a hard mental reset. And it's honestly, it's just going to take a completely different look to this NIP roster if they are going to make something of this best of three. At least for them, starting CT side, maybe can build a bit of momentum off the back of that. But from VP's perspective, they're already looking like they want to go heavy on the executes T-side start. 3 smokes, 3 flashes, and a Molotov. They are really sending it with these early XX.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the time where, 2 players with utility on the T side started to creep in. This was kind of the map that started it. And now you see it on most maps in fairness. But 3 is an awful lot. So yeah, they have plans here. Trying to catch where they're all at. Jamie's over towards B, so perhaps a fake as well as some bodies alongside that fake from Kicker. He will go down. Oh, indeed, it works. Look, Nork has gone to rotate, and now the 2 pit players are isolated. Rez falls early. They know that Twist is around, trying to find him. They will do indeed. A 4 versus 3 ensues, and like they wanted, the rotators are late. They were preoccupied, and therefore some decent post-plant positions are possible here for the remaining T side.
A late smoke line up towards long as well, just to lock out another angle for a few more seconds, get that bomb plant in. Plopsky on that CZ75, it's fantastic for the rushes, but in this situation, it can cause you a lot of grief. He's going to try and make his way out of the apartments, trying to take the early contact, but as Yekindar takes out Hampus, the numbers already starting to thin. Nork trying to make his way up short is one tap. Plopsky can drop for 1, but that's all he's getting. VP quick on the trades. The full execute pans out absolutely perfectly. And they are off to a flying start once more here on Inferno. A perfect pistol. And as you said, really well crafted across the board. They're happy to send the man in. That's just a sacrificial lamb heading in towards that B bomb site. But it buys the rotation. It buys the time they need. And now for NIP, they're back down onto these Deagles. Not as full of a force. They've got some smokes. They've got some Deags. And a couple of HEs to boot. But not emptying the bank account. Happy to try and save a little bit of cash for the next.
I'm quite a big fan of these buys, honestly, on CT sides, where you do just have some stronger weaponry, bit of utility, but not fully investing, because you can kind of do the same in the next round, right? And then you've got strength in all 3 rounds. It's not hindering the rifle buy too much. Ooh, Nork with a clean one through the smoke onto Yekindar. Hampus, meanwhile, still alive at new box. Lands a tag, but Jay makes sure that he stays alive for a little while longer. 4 on 3. Bomb has yet to be planted. Move has to be made. These Deagles are here in quick tow, and the tags keep on coming. Sanji throwing the bomb away to allow another to plant. Big nade coming through. Minimal damage onto Buster, though, as he gets off that bomb. And they're not really finding an awful lot here on the CT end. No one giving them anything. BP, as we saw on Overpass, a lot of respect, working their way into a bomb site and then just playing things nice and safe. So I think with the time gone and no picks happening, this should be all she wrote for round number 2. But perhaps an exit on the cards, of course, once the bomb goes off. We'll see. That's definitely what they're hanging about for. Great little angles here. Oh, but nothing landing for the CT side. BP picking up where they left off on Overpass. Looking very good in the early rounds.
Looking very clean and keeping it pretty simple. Nork manages to get 1 pick through the smoke. That's a little unfortunate, but they recover well, hold their angles, get that bomb plant down. If the low HP player is planting that bomb, maybe the nade does a little bit more, but just not quite able to find the connection NIP were after. And as a result, we get a nice clean 2-0 start. Looking for the third again. As you said, they've got a few safe pistols. Well, no, they haven't. They took them all away. They've got the same sets of pistols, though. 4 Deags, a CZ75 investing just a little bit into this round, trying to give themselves a little bit more firepower to work with. Hampus, though, already caught out in the open. Nothing he could really look to achieve there. if VP execute quickly, they're going to catch a wide open B bomb site. They look like they want to commit. The nades have already come over the top, the smokes, to try and lock these pistols out of the angles. And for NIP, if they had a popped flash here to try and get through this smoke, maybe you could look for some damage. But without it, they're going to be stuck on the wrong side of the smoke wall. It'll be a free bomb plant, likely another free round for VP.
Could be some... Ooh, I was going to say free money. Rez does check the angle, in fairness to him, but doesn't land the shot. It's money that Sanji has to work for. Nonetheless, looking good. This time a slightly more aggressive kind of play. Indeed, there you go. Not just going for the exits. Plopsky with his CZ, able to find one. Perhaps needs to pull off a reload, but doesn't really have time to do so. Going to go flying through the smoke. Not going to happen. Two players ready and waiting there, so nice little setup here at water. The bomb indeed will go off, but I mean, if they can keep them near it, or again, find said exits, certainly not a bad result, but unfortunately everyone's going to go down before the bomb does indeed go off. Yes, so VP, clean 3 rounds in a row. Looking very, very good indeed. NIP, they need this rifle round on the board. If nothing else, just to breathe that sigh of relief that they can actually do it.
Yeah, taking away that Mac 10 from James might come back to bite them. He's going to pick up the AK-47 instead, and a little bit of a bonus round coming out for VP. Still some investment. Yukindar, of course, on the Deagle from the previous. He's going to upgrade. Same for James. He's down. Still UMPs and Galil. Not full-blooded buy you'd expect, but Yukindar already making it look like one. AK pop flashed in beautifully top banana. Hampus the first to fall for NIP, and there's no trade there. Buster has taken a lot of nade damage, but already that man advantage is prevalent for VP, and they've got so much utility to plan this execute out. They're starting to toy with, for the first time since the pistol, looping back over towards this A bomb site. They've got a 2-2 split of CT players, whichever way they choose to go. It's just a matter of which site they look to execute onto.
Slowly moving in through brackets, but Twist is ready and waiting. Again, VP not really committing. It makes a lot of sense on the 2 maps that we've seen, to be fair. Overpass and Inferno hand themselves to the quick rotational play, the mind games, for sure. And burst their way onto B they will. Straight into the crosshairs of Nork. There's also 3 players here, ready and waiting on the side of MIP. Great little Molotov, but Plopsky bides his time to find one before inevitably falling. He was dead to rights regardless there. Rez, meanwhile, through the smoke, gets another. Bomb plant is successful. They're going to push forwards through the smoke to help the Molotov, but no one round the corner. Unfortunately, not able to even things back up. So the 3-on-2 in favor of NIP looking good. No kit, though. No utility now. So certainly going to be tough.
They hit their shots. James punished the first kicker with a huge second headshot as well. And I don't think Nort can even really try and go for this. The clock's ticked down. He's already starting to think about his exit routes, but he can't hit the shot. Kicker will punish. And the 3v2 retake doesn't come off for NIP despite a complete lack of utility on the half of VP. They had no nades to make that work. They just had to hit their shots. And James and Kicker, well, they happily held down that B bomb site. And as well, I mean, VP walked into the stack there, right? You had Twist rotating through the arches. You had a 3-man stack on B. VP were going to A. They were going to the open site. Instead, they loop back around. They take that fight into the stack. And somehow they still come out of it ahead. So a huge round from them. An opportunity to really start reaping the rewards. As once again, NIP are going to be down on the Deagles, the CZs. Rez, this time, has at least picked up a scout. Maybe trying to tag some players so the pistols can bag them. But it's not a good look early on for NIP, to say the least.
Oh, that would have been clean on the second. He gets it eventually. Poster opening up here. I'm feeling pretty good. This VP side looking solid right now. And NIP, unfortunately, not able to answer back. I mean, some of these rounds coming close indeed, right? But certainly stressing out and... Okay, a few misplays, but speaking of, as soon as I think about it, the curse comes in. Unlucky for Sanji. Definitely should have had that kill, but Twist, indeed, does twist and turn. manages to take him down, and we'll go into the next round with an AK. So that's something. But we need a round soon on this NIP side of things. I really do feel that their confidence waning at this point, and it's only going to get worse the 4 rounds they lose. There you go, through the smoke. Snort gets aggressive, able to find the Kindar. Rez tries to avenge his fallen brother with the scout, but not going to work out.
Really just throwing the kitchen sink at it, NIP. Trying to make sure they can get some kind of damage out of the round, right? Take some rifles away. They don't want to be stuck on those deagles and scouts. They don't want those. They don't mind losing them. If they can take a couple of AKs away, that's far more impactful. Unfortunately, not able to do too much with it, despite literally throwing themselves into it. The VP will have their 5th round regardless. A solid 5-0 start from the T side. And see if they can have a shot from the Shikindar again. Straight through the util. There's Molotovs all around him. He's going to go down to it. Hampus will get the burn. It's a team effort from NIP. But finally, for the first time, they've managed to get a little bit of banana control. They've managed to stop Yekindar from just running up and wrecking them. And perhaps that's the start NIP need. Getting a little bit of map control. Starting to push VP back into their corner ever so slightly.
Back to silence, though. As is often the case here on Inferno. Very, very slow and silent from VP. They're hoping to catch someone, but NIP are not going to be making silly mistakes in this round. Not going to be throwing things away. That is for sure. 2 towards B, 2 towards A. James thinking about the solo play, but opting not to go for it. Kicker drops Hampus. Plopsky, meanwhile, a bit of an off angle here, but it's certainly a tough one to work with up close and personal. Does find one. Smoke going down to try and buy him time, and off the back of it, he picks up Kicker as well. Beautifully done to recover things back. Meanwhile, over on A, they also chimed in to help out. So, things looking good for Nip here. Ooh, up above the smoke is Rez. Dishes out some damage onto James. 1 on 3 required from the big man. Half HP. And only 15 seconds. Without sprinting the whole way there, he does not make it to the safe bomb site. Even then, it would have been tight, and he gets caught knife in hand. And as you can see, James brought a knife to a gunfight. Never a good idea. But the first round for Nip finally secured.
Finally getting themselves on the board and keeping 3 players alive as well, which is so critical for CT sides these days. Building up that bank, because you can see NIP, first opportunity they get, straight onto that double AWP setup, straight putting it into the hands of the CT side, trying to have some impact. For the first time on the T side, however, James will have his big green out. Of course, 5 rounds on the trot, T side, you're going to build yourselves up a lovely little bank. You're able to buy into this one regardless. And this is where I get just a little bit nervous for NIP. They've gone for the big investment. They've got that secondary AWP into campus. If this goes south, which Yekindar is just going to straight remove the first, not even seeing the man, just sees the corner and the wallbang headshot connects. If you remove those double AWPs, if you can make this expensive, then NIP, they are in a lot of trouble. VP thinking about upping the pace off the back of that opening pick. A rotation has come in towards this A-bomb site. However, 3 players now here. Nice nade to dunk in as well. Twist on the off angle, dinked. Just 7 health remaining. And VP, they've got time. They've got map to work with. They can afford to maybe loop back around, start considering their other options. They'll leave the bomb in boiler, but Buster will have another pick on the site. And as Hampus goes down, this is falling apart for NIP. James has got Plopsky. They're walking straight into the stack. They don't care, VP. They are taking this map from NIP by force, but they will finally back away from it. They'll make the rotation. The bomb will be planted on B. And they'll already start to think, VP, about taking these rifles away from Nip.
Blow for blow, pound for pound, VP have looked like the better team today. I think it's as simple as that. Regardless of general level, they are just hitting their shots like their life depends on it. That one's certainly easier for Yekindar, but Rez looking the wrong way. What can you do? All down to Twist, and yes, not long for this world at all. Doesn't even take one with him into the Nether Realm. So a 6th round for VP. Immediately answering back, not phased by the loss of their first round. And that's where you really start to worry. Yes, indeed. A timeout coming in from the CTs, and it is required. NIP Ooh, shaking, quaking even in their boots as they're really not able to get a foothold in this first half. Money running away from them, as is the scoreline. It is not good. They're up a creek without a paddle. And a few holes in the boat as well, it feels like, to be honest. This game as well, Wolfy, it's Buster doing well. Looking very, very good with the 10 frags already.
Yeah, you try in your mind to paint a way for NIP to get back into this map, but at the moment, they just need to get back into their 1v1s. That's the main issue. They're straight losing their fights. They had a stacked A bomb site there. That should have been a defense that could hold. And instead, it got picked at, toyed at, like a cat with a ball of yarn by VP, until they eventually decided they'd had enough, and they're going to go have a wander over towards the empty bomb site instead. This time, of course, NIP down onto those pistols, already taking the nades to the face. Buster just adding to his tally with 2 quick frags, top banana, but this round was a write-off from the start. Buster makes it 3. Really looking to rub salt in the wounds. NIP would have been hoping for maybe a frag, maybe a saved rifle, snuck away into the corners of the map where VP can't take it from them. Instead, they're looking at what little damage they can get out, how they can make this next rifle buy a little bit more effective. Twist does manage to win 1 duel, but of course Yakinda is there to trade things out in kind, and Nork is left 1v4, Deagle in hand. Device level clutch required, and it's not going to happen. Buster removes him, of course he does. 4 in the round for the high-flying fragger on VP. And then IP, the amount of rifle buys they're getting, they're slowly reducing, and they're not really finding purchase with them.
With each lost round, I think it gets harder and harder for them to find the energy. It's all starting to sink in, perhaps all too early. Pretty decent buy here, though. That's not the excuse in this round, but we can talk about the buys all we like, right? There's certain scenarios where, yes, indeed, it is going to make a difference, but at this point, it really doesn't matter. They've had stronger ones than this, they've had weaker ones than this, and they really have not come close other than the 1 round. Nice opener from Twist, though. So maybe shutting me up ever so slightly. Kicker trying to answer back towards long. Nice little flash. Forcing the AWP off the angle, and Jame. Ooh, that's a bit of a dirty one. Nork, though, not confident enough to go for the reface. So they're 5-on-4, not quite under threat just yet. But certainly VP, I think, facing up to the challenge. They are happy to have the odds against them and maybe indeed approach the round slightly differently.
Go for a wander back down banana though. Sanji with Jame in tow. Trying to fake the idea maybe of hitting that B bomb site, but with the close man in Plopsky, the backup in the form of Hampus, the crossfire is well established. They're not going to fall for that. And it's going to be a matter of timing now. Plopsky will start to aggress. He will start to push for this backstab. He's not going to catch anyone. If they hang around in short too long, they will be falling right into this one. Rez full blind on site will be the first to fall. Buster, a 1-man entry crew, but Plopsky is good for 1 at least. He keeps his teammates in this in the 3-on-3. Pop flash to get Jame into the mini pit as well. 2-man short take to try and support Hampus. It's Nork jumping into Boiler to take out Kicker. And then IP, for the first time in a while, have a man advantage. Make it 2. Buster, he would need the ace. It's not going to happen. Plopsky will secure NIP's 2nd round. They are not done fighting here on Inferno just yet.
Just as we start to feel as a spectator, things are really slipping away from them. They are able to answer some questions and give some hope for this first half at the very least back to the fans and I think themselves. Really well done. Solid number of players surviving as well, and now into up. So here we go. That could be the round that turns things, well, around for NIP. If they play their cards right, I think they're in with a good chance of closing the gap. But VP, last time out that this happened, very quickly responded. and were able to string a few together again before losing that second. So that's the way things are going to go. Oh, it's not what you want, you Kindar. That's so clean. I think they were on the jump spot. He takes the head of Hamper straight off of his shoulders, pins it to the wall behind him, and earns a 5-on-4 for his team. He's left on 24 HP after that nade, but nonetheless, it's VP once again back in control of the round.
Again, NIP pull out the double AWPs. They go for the heavy investment. And again, VP just start removing them from the server immediately. Kindar on the AK, swinging. And what a hit to find as well. The back of it, man advantage, of course, found. VP will loop around, regroup in towards the A-bomb site, looking to take possible bracket control. Nork the only player here to contest it. Playing tight to the angle, looking to use the hut to his advantage. Does have a rotation now. Popsky locking things down from long, but Buster's found the player on site, and Sanji's taken out the rotation. It's all on Nork now. There's 3 players all around him, all behind him, looking to hunt him down, and he's the last NIP man on the server. Again, VP just straight take the fight, and they just straight win them. And again, it's immediately after NIP look to invest into that double AWP. That's twice they've tried to pull it out, and both times VP have completely shut it down.
Yeah, that's your point, right? My point, of course, is the fact that VP are able to bounce back immediately both times as well. Maybe that is due in part to the AWP, but also it's I think part of themselves, really. Just finding the issues that NIP have, the early pick going their way, and then just never slowing down. Relentless from VP. So difficult right now on this NIP side of things, and honestly, this is not the way you want to be playing it on the CT side. Win a round, lose a couple, win a round, lose a couple. It's just not healthy, and it's not going to set them up very well either after a pretty impeccable CT side from VP on Overpass. I would expect much the same here on Inferno, so we need to see a few in a row from NIP. Aim for 5. I think that's decent at the moment, as in, you know, an overall 5 scoreline. And they can certainly work with that. But honestly, whether we see that is another question. I'm really, after losing that previous, not feeling too good for NIP, honestly. They are showing signs, but no real consistency, which is a big problem.
Oh, Kindar falls back. Sanji only going to find the 1-for-1 trade. That'll leave a rifle recoverable here in the apartments, and Rez will actually pick up a second. Bomb left deep bottom mid as well. James ever so slightly concerned that he was going to get caught in transition there, but I think with 20 seconds left on the clock, NIP will be far happier to just maintain those 2 AK-47s. Of course, as you said, that situation, the buy, win one, lose a few, win one, lose a few. It just bleeds a CT economy dry. So keeping a couple of rifles on board into the next round. Rez, 98 HP with the armor, still going to have to invest if he wants the head armor. It's unfortunate, but maybe can go without against the AKs. It gives them a little more backbone into this next round. It allows them to establish a little more cash, which, despite the fact the half is nearly over, they do need to do. They need to build up a little bit of bank to allow them to pick up the extra nades, the extra utility, because that's the time they've managed to even hold VP off for a minute and a half, is when they've taken banana control with utility. They've forced them back into that A-bomb site. And you do wonder if they keep doing that, if they keep consistently denying VP that banana B bomb site area, maybe they can then heavy stack over towards that A site. They can put 4 players there. They can start trying to trade. And I do hope that's what they're talking about in this timeout, because something has to change for NIP. We're in this situation now. They're 9-2 down CT side of Inferno. Buster is nearly dropping 20 kills in 11 rounds. I don't even want to know what his ADR is going to look like. They have to change the playbook. Something has to be different. 160 ADR, there you go. 185 utility damage. Sat on a KD of 6.3. You can't really complain. Something has to change, right? Someone has got to step up to the plate and start taking these players out of the server if not just denying them the ability to hit those shots. And if you have to do that just by taking map, then take the map control, because at the moment, nothing is working.
Well, we're about to find out whether that change is effective or not. Once again, fast start down second middle from VP. Flashes going in through mid. The old classic, as soon as timeout ends, let's rush in. Res good for one. Getting immediately traded, though. Never ideal for the CT side. Just like that, an immediate spin back towards, well, it looked like B, but then apartments. I think VP caught up in the chaos ever so slightly. Twist finds a frag in pit and lives to tell the tale. So that's certainly not ideal. A terrible flashbang, in all honesty. Kicker is caught completely blinded in pit. Jane does manage to find one. Orc, though, on the edge of the smoke, reads him perfectly, takes him down. Plopsky picks up Buster, and the third for NIP. A bit disrespectful from Virtus.pro, a bit in your face. It can work out, but I think NIP were expecting it, and they will take that third gladly.
Definitely felt like VP pushed the boat out a little bit too far. There's still some nutty shots. Jane finding the wallbang onto Twist in pit. That springs to mind, but not quite enough to get it over the line. The individuals from NIP, they can still frag out, and they will do given the opportunity. VP have been doing well so far, denying them those chances, denying them those picks that they can take. They're going to do it again here. Utility towards top banana. Jane takes the tag down to 10. Orp in hand, he won't be too fussed with that. With the map control VP have got already, he's standing in good stead to make something of this. Plopsky thinking about a re-aggression, thinking about a push around this corner. Instead, the nade will suffice. Get some good damage off it. Hampus caught in the middle of a HE is found. Yakindar again opening things up. And again, it's a one-man defense. This time, Plopsky on his own to try and hold from first orange is so much to do. He manages to find the first man, but without the trade coming through, without the second quick pick, this is not looking viable. North will catch Buster in transition, and maybe that's exactly what NIP need to get them back into this round.
Smoke going to dissipate. An awkward face-off between Kicker and Twist there. No frag for either of them, so still that 3-on-3. Such a difficult bomb site to retake this one, but a couple players that are low HP. They're also smoked out towards Banana. I think on purpose, actually, boosting over it could have a positive effect. Speaking of boosts, Twist also on high, but that pillar is pesky. This is such a good angle for James. Not really going to be needed, though. Kicker finds a quick one onto Nork. Rez, meanwhile, trades him back, but two players in Banana. The bomb, not really planted for them, but the frag's coming in thick and fast. Sanji riding through the smoke to find the head of Rez. Will pick up the 10th, hitting double digits early into this first half of VP. Very troublesome stuff for NIP. The closest they've come in a lost round, let's say, for a while. But not able to convert. The double up setup once again appears. But yeah, some big questions towards the banana control. Yakindar, a good 3-4 times that he's done that now. You know, a player will show themselves and boom, immediately taken out by Yakindar. I feel like you just have to cut out the middleman and not really give him the opportunities. If your attempts at getting banana control are not working, then perhaps just leave. Oh! Stop him.
That's just not fair.
Not legal.
Yakindar just immediately removing an AWP from the equation. He just seems to find them. He's magnetic to AWPs. He finds where they're playing and he removes them from the server. Nork at least able to trade one back onto a Sanji who was high flying in the previous round, but doesn't mean it's going to get any easier for NIP. Pop flashes over the top. VP swarming in towards this B-bomb site. Plopsky desperate to get anything on the hold, but it's just not connecting. Nork will make the rotation in. Will go for the shot through the smoke. Doesn't quite connect, however, and Chame and Kicker will. Rez left. A sight we've seen far too many times on NIP's CT side. 1v3. Yakindar with the backstab. 11-3 the score as we head into the last round of this first half. NIP, they just haven't even connected to this server. They have been demolished out of this half. They will be able to buy, of course. They'll scramble what they can for the last round, but Pyjamas, M4, MP9, UMP. A double AWP setup didn't work. It doesn't feel like this is.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Still, from Yakindo. My goodness. Ugh. NIP, though, I don't think they're too bothered about how they go down, just when they go down. Buster through the smoke, thanks to the flash of Jame. Easy work onto Hampus. Plopsky was cut off by a Molotov, of course, because they are not having any luck right now. Oh, and Yakindo survives on 20 HP. More nade damage onto Plopsky. The rotations are in nice and quick. But VP, they're opting to change things up ever so slightly. Yes, they found the first pick at B, but they're not going to brute force their way in. Just taking their time. I think that's wise. Because the A-bomb site at the moment, if they discover it, is a little open.
Why not, hey? Clearly confident. Feeling like they can take whatever they please at the moment on the T side of Inferno. A nice nade brings Plopsky down to 5. Twist is going to have a lot of work to do. Kika converts on his own HE. Close angle, not going to work. VP, they are just feeling it right now. You said if they probe the A-bomb site, they're going to find out it's very sparsely occupied. They don't even need to bother. 3 quick picks, just demolishing a really nice set hold from NIP. And Rez, well, once again, he's left with the impossible task. Just this time, it's a little bit more impossible. A 1v5, FAMAS and utility to work with. A flank already coming in from Yakindo. He's looking for the backstab once more. He has been heard. Rez will be able to find the one. Wants the AK-47, but that's going to eat into his time just a little bit more. Starting to take these fights. Missed AWP shot gives him some room, but Kicker, quick as you like, removes it from the situation. A 12-3 half. VP looking to get things done nice and quickly. Can NIP pull off the impossible comeback? We'll find out after the break.
All right, folks, welcome back to the second half here. It is not looking good if you are just joining us. 12-3 in favor of VP. On their home map, of course, their map pick after winning the first, which was Overpass. And that also did not go so hot for NIP. They have, as Wolfy said, not really signed in, not really checked into the server today, it feels like. And VP abusing them for that fact.
I think it's the world's worst combination. NIP not feeling it and VP on an absolute tear at the moment. They really have just felt like a dominant force in this matchup thus far. Looks like they may at least give a bomb plant over to NIP here, however. 4 players for VP, still stacked over towards that A-bomb site. Just Buster deep on B. A single smoke will lock him out of the equation. The full execute will come in, and VP will have to play a straight 5-on-5 retake. They do have a bit of utility to try and make this work. They've got a molly, a smoke, and a flash, as NIP do work out that this bomb site is free for the taking. And just to mix it up a bit, VP are going to go for a 4-man banana take here, trying to pile that pressure on. It's going to be Rez to take the early contact. Does now have support in the form of Hampus as they start to swing. There's the first one tap. Rez is removed from the equation as well, and VP, they are looking to make it happen once again. Still Buster lies in wait towards CT. The smoke locks out the coffins angle. They know CT is clear. Buster has been there this whole time. They start to spot the fights, but the trades are coming through finally. 3 for 1. And it's into the 2-on-2. Plopsky with a nice headshot, and Jane can only find the one. NIP, they do hold on to the B-bomb site by the skin on their teeth, and they do make the right start to their T side.
Plopsky, man, starts blasting at the back of the site, finds 4 out of nowhere. Very well done indeed, and he has bought them a lifeline. See how long it lasts. I think they would hope to roll things for quite a while here, and honestly, when you come into the second half, it's either the pressure is massively on and you're super, super tense, or you just play it kind of loose and fast. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. And I feel sometimes that loose, fast style can catch teams off guard. First player goes down. Very well caught. As Buster, of course, ever confident as he has been here on this map, goes for the wide swing, but to no success.
Nice idea from VP. Sticking the 3-man stack over towards this A bomb site. Going to make it a 4th as well, as Sanji just dumping a smoke to try and maybe dissuade NIP from heading over towards that B bomb site. It's an understandable play. Obviously, losing that early man on these kind of force buys does a lot of damage. So stack up on the site. If they come your way, you've got the best possible chance of taking it. If they don't, well, you've got a pre-booked save over on A. So that's going to be the call. NIP will head over towards the B bomb site instead. Get that bomb down. Luckily for them, nobody home, so they're going to get to keep all 5 players alive. And if they want to leave VP alone, there'll be 2 FAMAS and a Deagle facing them in the next round. If I'm NIP, probably sending Hampus and Rez out on a scouting mission. See if they can find anything. If they don't, they only lose the Mac 10, right? They can upgrade those in the next round. Even buy another if they want to farm some more cash. So really no harm in it. It's a fairly passive round from both sides. And it will just teeter away here. Hampus is going to go for a little bit of a poke. Keycurt down to 2 HP. James actually does manage to remove the 1, but now he's going to start to be pincered in from multiple angles, and that's where the issues will really start to arise.
Certainly would be nice for them to take some of these into the next round, though. I think looking good at this point. The smoke going to dissipate. Keycurt's life maybe is slightly under threat, but now the time is too far gone. And NIP, those 2 players that were hunting, could not find anything. So, still bits of pressure here coming into the 3rd round of the second half for the Swedes. At the moment, though, riding the wave. Not looking too bad. You just kind of have to forget about everything else that's happened so far. Hard, I know, because Yakindar really wanted to make sure with those headshots that they did not forget. But still, that kind of mentality, I think, is what it's nice little nade to kick things off. Yakindar not as clean on the CT side so far. Gets taken down by the Mac 10. Another early opener for Nip. And denying one of those FAMASs away as well. So, pretty decent start for them coming into round number 18. Let's see whether it continues. Still a Deagle and a FAMAS in play. Do need to be careful. The pesky B smokes as well to keep them at arm's length. James. Oh, the flash comes in at the perfect time. He turns away from it, but damned if you do, damned if you don't there, right? He either looks into it and is blind, or looks away and has his back turned. Can't really do all that much.
No easy way out at all. And for NIP, just taking it a round at a time. Just building your half. Just not letting Keycurt do this to you with the Deagle. 2 nice picks from him, but Sanji going to be taken down, and there's enough time left on the clock that NIP can completely reroute over towards that A bomb site. They'll get a free plant. Keycurt nowhere to be seen. He's done some good damage, to be fair to him, with the Deagle, but a 6th round is all but assured. Why do I keep saying it like that? I don't know why my brain's just doing it today. Assured. Assured. There we go. We'll get there eventually. I'll just work it down. We can workshop it while NIP is saving. But it's going to be a 6th round either way. They'll keep their 3 rifles up. It'll allow them to keep building that economy. And that's all they've got to do, right? It's 1 round at a time. Just keep building your half. It's the most cliched sentiment that I can possibly come with. But it's the only thing NIP can do at this point. Their CT side was so dire that anything at this T side is a bonus. Just keep pushing through it.
Keep grinding the rounds at this point. They're doing a decent job of it so far, but their first true test comes in this round. The AWP, of course, in play. And the buy surrounding it pretty damn strong as well. Would love to see a kit somewhere. Maybe could have elected to have someone buy one. We'll see. Of course, it's one of those decisions where all good until it isn't. Until you desperately need one. And there's not a single kit anywhere. So we'll see. But I guess in their minds, they're looking to win the round before the bomb even goes down at this point. 3 playing over towards B. Yakindar, the king of banana in the first half, looks to continue and hold on to his crown. A double comes in. Nice and easy for him. He is truly the master of banana in this game. That's absolutely brilliant.
Gonna have to take the sign down, take Freiberg's name off it, and replace the man. Jane with another quick pick. Hampus goes down. VP, first full rifle buy, looking to make it sting. Twist and Nork, the only two who remain. The ninjas just not quite able to wrestle that control away. Nork will creep his way up. They do have the utility, and there is only 2 players over on this beat. So it's a straight 2v2 if they can hit their shots, if they can find their mark, potentially a bomb plant can come of it. Just build yourself into that after plant, give yourselves a little bit of room, but James has now made the rotation, pot flashes himself into the site itself. Walk straight through, here we go, James, quick pick for the first and twist. Does manage to trade the high angle, but already down to 34 HP. James really doesn't have to face this, can just play the time, wait for the rotations. The smoke CT has faded. He's just got to call the information to the team. As Buster starts to swing, it gets very awkward indeed. Too many angles, not enough time for Twist. Buster will be the one credited with the frag, but very much a team effort over on B. VP just 3 rounds away.
Unfortunately, in the back of my mind, it's what I feared. As soon as they come up against that first hurdle, they are unable to really even get a run up. Difficult times lie ahead. Once again, the comeback required massively here for NIP. A lot of aggression into Banana again. Yakindar, of course. Who else to find the kills? He's just unstoppable. There's some kind of synergy between him and this area of the map. It is so wild to see how comfortable and successful he is down there. It is magical. It truly is. And a solid man advantage for VP to work with off the back of it, of course. Round number 20 looking damn good. Although the only thing at the moment is the fact that there's 1 player on that B bomb site where perhaps there should be 2.
Really trusting in James to lock it out with that AWP. Ninjas looking like they want to commit to it. But already being locked into it, even if they didn't want to commit to it, they'd have to make that hit. There's no way they can go anywhere else. Sanji already going for the backstab, but he's actually got the bomb down with it. He's picked off the perfect man. Twist has fallen, and with 30 seconds left, Hampus has got to go and recover that. He will manage to do so, but by going back and forth, the smokes will fade all the quicker. Hampus looking to plant inside of it. Yakindar's removed the support, and he's found the planter. VP just knocking it out of the park here with their 14th. And all that talk of Yakindar on Banana, I've just realised that he's taking the King of Banana's crown against the King of Banana's old team. Because, of course, Freiburg was the OG. There you go. A little bit of trivia for you folks. And there's a little sign at the bottom of Banana with Adam Lane on it, I think is the translation, to commemorate Freiburg's Banana control. But that's going to have to be taken down because Yakindar is clearly the new King of Banana. And at 14-6, I don't think anyone can complain. NIP are going to take another timeout. But it does feel like they're stalling the inevitable at this point. VP have kicked back into gear in fine fashion. Buster on 22 kills. Yakindar just behind on 18. You have to go to the 3rd highest fragger on the scoreboard in Kika to find an equal amount for NIP's top. Plopsky, all credit to him, hasn't had a bad game. It's just not lining up for NIP here.
Yeah, I feel VP are on an absolute tear, and then NIP still have their minds on that first map, and never really got kicked into gear on Overpass, and it seems to have continued coming into Inferno here. It's really, really rough. I think it would be interesting to watch a bit of a breakdown, because there's some rounds, you know, in places where they did have a lead, they did have a good chance, but conversion seems to be a big problem for the Swedes right now. And perhaps that is due to a little bit of the setup issue, the spacing issues. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, but it just seems every now and then someone takes a swing where perhaps they shouldn't have done. That wasn't quite part of the plan. And now we've thrown our 5v4, 4v3, whatever it may be, into the wind. Oh, damn. You have to feel for them in some scenarios. Kicker is just right place, right time there, but cleanly transfers that double spray down. And it seems to be run-of-the-mill stuff. Rez by himself out towards top with the Mach 10. Can't get anything done. Neither can Plopsky. No shots seem to be landing. It's just one of those rounds at that point. And perhaps just one of those games as well. Deeper analysis certainly needed for Nip after this one. But VP, maybe the same, to be honest, because they've really tapped into something crazy here with a really strong showing on the previous map from Jame. A pretty decent one, as we said, from Kicker, right? He was winning most of his duels, certainly not his frags super high, but his death's quite low. And then coming into this one, it's Buster and it's Yakindar that are really carrying the mantle. So it's cool to see that pretty much everybody on this VP lineup carrying some of the weight across the series.
Yeah, it really has been. Everyone's had their opportunity to shine, and all credit to all the individuals they've taken them. Forced NIP back time and again. This time largely pistols. Rez will grab the lone SMG, and the fast hit out of the balcony will surely come to pass. How much can they get out of this? What's the reward? Nork, lovely pick. Kindar's flanked red. There's the early man advantage. The hot flash is perfect. Twist can't quite capitalize though. Trade's still going their way. Jame here with the AWP. Can't quite hit the flick, and that's a headshot from Nork. The Deagles have finally come into play, and it's Buster thrown into the 1v2 to take the matchup for VP. He's up against Hampus and Nork. An AK and a Deagle lie in his path.
Well, here we go. Something for NIP to work with. Oh, Buster, though. Great read, great angle. And a big frag. Nade going in. Molly to follow up. Not quite on the mark. He's actually mollied the bomb off himself, which is going to give him way less time to work with. I think the round almost said and done. No, he finds the frag. Oh, and Heartbreak Nork. A few more seconds required of staying safe and just putting up a bit more of a fight. Not going to be the case. Too easy for Buster in the 1 versus 2. 16-6 to secure the series after a 16-5 overpass as well. VP sending a big message to a lot of the other teams out there at the moment. This is an incredibly dominant showing where, you know, Heroic kind of struggled on that first map against MIBR. They against NIP, a similar sort of, you know, matchup in terms of the level between the teams and the expectations for the top team to take the series. Well, they have delivered in a big, big way. VP, all 4 of those players that we mentioned in the previous round, very, very scary. I would be worried if I'm the other teams right now.
Yeah, this is a very impressive looking VP, and you've got to say they just continue on their successes. They just keep building. They've just brushed aside NIP like they were barely in the server to begin with. It was an absolutely fantastic performance from them. I think NIP have got to go home, got to take a little bit of a hard look in the mirror. Shots weren't landing. The strategy with the double AWPs on Inferno just was not happening. And I've got to question, yes, Yakindar's hitting nutty shots. Yes, he's removing your AWPs constantly. Why keep buying them 3 times? They've invested into that double AWP setup. I think a 4th at the death as well. You can't be doing that. But looking at our brackets, of course, VP have made their way through. NIP dropping on down. Currently, Furia 1-0 up against Cloud9. So once this stream's done, make sure you're jumping over to the A stream to see that. But VP, fine form. And I think whoever wins out of the Furia Cloud9 game, they're going to have a lot facing them when they go through to that next round. Yeah,
certainly. Some matchups there that are pretty solid, I would say. Either team that gets through, right? It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, VP for me, looking very, very impressive indeed. I am thoroughly looking forward to the next few days. Of course, that's it from us on the secondary stream here, just covering the 1 day, Wolfy and I. But things continue until Sunday the 31st. All week, there is Summit Counter-Strike on that main stream. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much going to do it. Is there anything else you want to add to the day, Wolfy? How's it been? How do you feel? What do you got to say?
It's been absolutely mental. It's always a joy to work with the Summit guys. Massive thank you to them for having us on. A massive thank you. Always got to give the shout out to the guys in production. Pith, he's been working tirelessly in the background to make sure it's as good as it can be. Been smashing it all day. A massive thank you to everyone for watching. Of course, it's been some awesome games on this B stream, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament. It really does look set to be a blinder.
Yeah, indeed. But either way, from me, from him, Thank you very much once again. And you can catch all the action on the main stream, of course, until Sunday. So do be sure that you're watching that. You don't want to miss any of it because these games already today are heating up. Imagine how things are going to get going down for that Championship Sunday. We'll see you then.